when his mind never rested. Thoughts came, one after another, like waves that never stopped crashing. He thought about yesterday, the mistakes he made. He thought about tomorrow, the things that might go wrong. Even in the quiet moments, his mind was screaming. He couldn't eat without worrying, couldn't sleep without replaying conversations, couldn't walk down a path without his thoughts pulling him elsewhere. He was tired, so tired. Not from work, not from the world, but from his own mind. His body was here, but he was never here. Then one day, sitting by the sea, he heard something, a story. It was about a man who lived where the land meets the water. People said his mind was as still as the ocean at dawn. They called him the keeper of the tides. He didn't know if the story was true, but he had tried everything else, and nothing had worked. So with nothing left to lose, he decided to find him. The path was long, the wind was strong, but with every step, he felt something. Not peace, not yet, but possibility. When he arrived, the old man was sitting quietly on a wooden deck, overlooking the sea, eyes closed, breathing slow. He looked peaceful, completely, utterly peaceful. The young man stood there for a moment, just watching. Then he spoke. "My mind never stops," he said quietly. "I want peace. How do I make it still?" The old man opened his eyes. He looked at him, really looked at him, and smiled softly. "I can show you," he said, "but you must be willing to see." The old man didn't answer with words. He answered with a test. He stood up slowly, reached into his robe, and pulled out a compass, an old silver compass with a delicate needle. "Walk the path along the cliffs," he said, "and keep the needle perfectly still." The young man looked at the compass, then at the path ahead. It didn't seem hard, but the moment he stepped onto the path, everything changed. The wind was strong. Waves crashed against the rocks far below. Seabirds cried out overhead. Flowers bloomed in colors he'd never seen. His mind wanted to look, to see the world around him. But the needle began to tremble. So he focused, eyes on the compass, hands steady, breath slow, one step, then another. The world called to him. But he didn't look up. He didn't look back. For the first time in years, his mind was quiet. There was only the needle, only the path, only now. When he returned, the old man smiled, a knowing smile. "Did you see the seabirds?" he asked. "The waves crashing below? Did you notice the flowers on the path, or the colors of the sky?" The young man looked down. I saw nothing but the needle." The old man nodded slowly. "And in that moment," he said, "where was your mind?" "It was here," the young man said quietly. "Right here, on the path." "Exactly," the old man said. "When you live in the present moment, there is no room for fear, no space for regret. The past cannot reach you. The future cannot touch you. There is only now." The young man stood there, silent, understanding, washing over him like a wave. Peace is not something we find outside, the old man said softly. It is already inside you, when your mind is where your body is. The young man nodded. For the first time in years, he understood. He walked back toward the world, down the path, past the cliffs, toward the setting sun. The winds had not stopped blowing. The waves had not stopped crashing. The world had not changed. But he had. His thoughts still came, but they no longer controlled him. The past was still there. The future was still uncertain. But now, he knew where to find peace, not in the silence of the world, but in the stillness of the present moment. Right here, right now. The sun touched the horizon. Birds flew home to their nests, and he walked on, no longer restless and no longer lost. Just here.